Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Danganronpa Part 17? I think it's 17, it could be 18. In the previous video, we started the second class trial and we got Togami on the ropes, man. We've firmly moved past, we've exposed that Toko was probably not the actual killer, and instead we're trying to pressure Togami into cracking and confessing like the little rich snob he is.
Went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Dude, Makoto's big brain is gonna destroy him.
Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
Now, we're not out of the woods yet. I mean, it's gonna take a little bit, I assume, to crack our ultimate rich kid, whatever your name is, affluent progeny.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Pretty much. He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
Well, I feel like he's probably got one last trap card for us.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing. He doesn't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Yeah, and he even talked about, like, you know, bloodlust and stuff.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Do we?
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
Okay, now that's mega sus, dude.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Well, I mean, the main mystery we still don't know. We still don't know the thing with the switching bath or the switching locker rooms, right? Like the stain and the posters. I still have no, like, real conception on that stuff. What was it just now? Something's not right. Oh god, what did he say it? I wasn't actually paying attention. Scene of the crime?
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right?
But I mean, theory, he shouldn't have had access. Well, there is the handbook stuff, right? That we established that, he knows where the handbooks were?
But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of them. So we really think the entire locker room was switched.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all
He's
that.
kind of cracking, dude.
I believe I do.
Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up until now, maybe he never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission. What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
You didn't raise your hand, Makoto, therefore I'm siding with Togami.
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Well, we have the stain, and that's about it. I need to focus on the things that got switched. So, I don't want to present it. I just want to look at it. things that got switched. I mean, obviously the posters got switched. But, like, I mean, it's either the posters or the stain. I don't know which one. I'm gonna go with the posters because we know, like, 100% those were switched. God, but I feel like it's the stain, but I don't know which stain to pick. I don't know if it's disappearing stain or if it's, what was it? What did this tell us? Because, I mean, that doesn't necessarily I think it is the posters. I don't know what button to press.
I got it!
Okay, that was it.
The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
Hell yeah, brother.
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
And maybe.
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
The stain.
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
Yeah, that's what the kids are calling it these days, Hifumi. Keep up with the times.
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
Well, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved. So there's a stain in the boys' locker room.
I got it!
So is that
The
not a
stain on
carpet,
the
but a
girls'
rug?
Locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away.
I mean, I guess if it's like a rug, you could switch them.
In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
Because, I mean, it doesn't look like a, you know, because, I mean...
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too?
Because, I mean, really, when I think of carpet, I think of something that's like... You can't easily move it, you know?
But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
What?
In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
But why?
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Like, I think I have an idea.
Huh?
Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime?
So, let's do some backtracking here. So the girls' stuff was in the boys'. The girls' carpet was clean. So wait, no. The murder took place in the boys' room then? Which is why there's blood on the poster. But why would you move the poster? That just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't...
Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room,
Well, the only thing I can think of is that technically Togami shouldn't have access to the girls. Like, that's a way to diffuse suspicion. So I guess that's the reason why. But it just seems like the posters are such a... But I guess once the poster had blood on it, you had to move it, right? Like, you couldn't just leave a bloody poster in the boys' locker room. Because then that would be even more suspicious.
then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place? To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device.
Yeah, because really it makes more sense for Togami to have made it into the girls' locker room.
But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
necessarily. Well, wait. No, because now I think about it, the 3 handbooks that we found, Leon's didn't work, so it wouldn't be usable, right?
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Okay.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Are you finally gonna participate in the fucking game, dude? I mean, we know the thing about... Okay. Broken handbook. It's probably broken handbook, but it could be...
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all.
That's
I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
technically possible.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
Oh, the broken e-handbook.
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
But it was
She had
broken.
that. She could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
But maybe it wasn't broken. Maybe it was just deactivated. Yeah, so I think that's what we want. Because I guess that's the contradiction, right? The contradiction is that it was broken,
She must have hacked her
but she wouldn't have been able to use
sure
it.
that would have...
No, I don't.
She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook.
Oh
of
god, we
course.
missed.
If she had that,
Oh,
she
we
could get
missed.
into the boys' locker room no problem.
Okay.
Is it really? Could Chihiro really?
She must have hacked. She was the ultimate... I'm sure that would have...
No, I don't. She used the thing.
Thankfully, there's a fast
What
forward. At
thing?
least we figured that out. Now we
I'm
just
talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
okay. It didn't really hit, but we got a little bit of a bigger hitbox there. I was like, oh god, I thought we missed for a second.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
But was it broken?
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
I mean, can you steal from the dead?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
But didn't when we saw it, like, I remember there was some comment about how maybe it's not actually broken.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
But what if she's just, like, really good?
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook,
Well-
and she didn't modify her own handbook,
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room.
Well,
So I guess so.
I guess, I mean, the thing is,
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
I mean, I think I get where they're going, but I still feel like they're contradicting their own rules. Is that it, then? Hiro was killed in the girls' locker room, and Byakuya is the one who did it? Really? Still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second.
Okay, thank you, Kyoko.
I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say?
God, is it really not Togami? That's actually super sneaky if it's not Togami.
There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So,
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
what?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Could have just, you know.
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Oh, this might be an invasion of privacy.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Ooh.
Huh? For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Okay, so before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had to be put on hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead. And where she took us was... I'm just saying,
Girls' locker room?
when they explained the rules of the handbook, it said whatever gender is listed on your report card. Or did it say handbook? Or your own personal handbook? Because obviously, in our report card, it says Chihiro's a girl.
We've already searched this place top to bottom! What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
That's not. I'm gonna check it again.
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully?
Absolutely not. Back the
Like
fuck off.
Using our hands?
Go away.
No way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
Thank you.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
That's sexist.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
Please just don't stab anyone.
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Why are you such a weirdo? Just come out and say what you know.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
I still feel like they're contradicting their own rules. Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl
Is what?
is a boy!
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
What? You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Then it's really true?
Chihiro was a guy?
So that's why obviously Chihiro wouldn't want to work out with the other girls, because she wouldn't be able to gain access. But I don't know. I still feel like they said whatever's listed on the report card. So you would think whatever gender is everyone else thinks you are would be. I don't know. I just feel like they're contradicting their own rules here.
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat.
But yeah.
Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Then he was a cross-dresser? Oh, no, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting.
It also means that Kyoko was groping a dead body.
Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
I mean, really all that means is that we know the murder took place in the boys' bathroom.
I do apologize for
the
keeping
locker
you
room.
waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial.
I was kind of wondering how that, information was, because, I kind of, picked up on that a while back with the whole, being scared to go into the locker room type stuff. But I was kind of wondering how that information was going to come out in the class trial.
We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
I think that, well, whatever. I'm not gonna...
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
But it shouldn't have, right?
Of course his handbook said he was a boy.
Okay.
He dressed like a
I guess it
girl,
depends on
but
your
he was a
personal
boy
handbook.
through
I
and
could have
through.
sworn they said report card. Because, like, I kind of figured, like, when they mentioned that was going to come into play.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room, and the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
What?
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected.
Have they, though?
All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
I'm just trying to think, like, what does this new information tell us? I mean, I really don't feel like it adds anything.
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
I mean, really, all it does is it 1,000... I mean, it completely rules out Toko as being the murderer, but we'd kind of already done that.
Ah, he's off in his own little world.
I mean, who else do we think could have killed her?
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
I mean, I feel like they wouldn't have done all this if he wasn't the killer, right? Or that if he was the killer, they would have... Like, we wouldn't have come to that conclusion so early. I mean, I feel like this whole scene has to have some importance. But, like, who else would have killed? I'm trying to think. I just remembered. They were killed... Or no. She was killed in the boys' locker room at night. Was that the same day that Mondo and Hako were doing their competition? But wait, is that in the locker room? I can't remember where the hot spring place is. Ah, shit. Because do you think it could have been that they stayed there all night and then maybe found her in the boys' locker room while she was doing, like, early morning, late night training?
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I...
So it could have been... Well, no. I was going to say, maybe he just found the dead body and then framed Toko, but that doesn't make any sense. Because why would he want to frame Toko? If Toko gets accused and she's not the real killer, then we all die.
I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
I mean, the only other potential suspects in my mind then are Mondo and Haka.
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
But isn't that just his personality?
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
I don't know. I mean, the reason I'm still, like, even though I think they're kind of pushing you to dissuade you from the Togami angle, like, there is not enough evidence against anyone else.
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt.
I mean, I definitely agree with that.
He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder.
Yeah?
At least, that's how I see it.
I can definitely agree with that.
And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
God, I just want fucking Togami to die.
Mark it as
That's not,
correct.
well, this may be a little unfair, but...
He's right. I am not the culprit.
I mean, he hasn't done anything like, worthy of death yet if he didn't actually kill Chihiro.
I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
But that's so fucking stupid.
Are you fucking with us right now?
It's so dumb. Because if we had bought along with it and been like, oh yeah, it was Toko. Obviously, we don't see anything wrong with this. All voted on Toko. He dies as well. We all get punished.
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
It doesn't make any logical sense why he would do that.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
I mean, unless his, like, plan was that if we did start going along with Toko, he was gonna, you know, come clean about how he was framing her and then try and... Because, I mean, it just feels like the risk associated with framing Toko when we know she's not the killer, or when he knows, or he has no reason to think she's the killer, like, it just doesn't make any sense.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
It's gotta be a dude.
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
I mean, this man is, like, ultimately sus. Like, we don't really have any information linking Hiro, but he is acting the most suspicious of the other 4 potential candidates.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
I mean, that's really the only thing we have, because, I mean, Mondo and Taka. I don't know if they would... And then, I mean, there is Hifumi. We can't completely ignore him.
Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Because, I mean, I'm just going to assume we're going to limit our potential suspects to males. Just because we don't know how any male could get into the locker room, right?
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
This trial has gotten a lot more interesting than the first one, I will say.
Our lives are all on the line.
I'm glad they kind of twisted it on you and, like, made it not Togami. I thought it was a little odd when they kind of came out that Togami was the killer. It felt like a little too easily.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
But at least, you know, while my logic was ultimately wrong, at least I was on the right track. Like, that was what the game wanted you to think. But if Byakuya didn't do it, who murdered Chihiro? The killer's a guy.
I got it!
The crime scene was the boys' locker room. You would need a boys' handbook to get in. Now, we do know that... Another piece of evidence that hasn't been addressed is that Chihiro's handbook was taken, right? I think. I need to, like, learn what the actual key bindings are. What was it? It mentioned something about it was not found in her corpse and has apparently gone missing. Like, I think that's the only piece of evidence we haven't actually used. Oh, and Celeste's account. Right before nighttime. And only we know that. Had to have been a guy. That's not enough. I need to find some more clues. But yeah, this has definitely gotten a lot more intriguing than normal. Okay, so Celeste's account is listed. Since we haven't used that yet, I'm going to assume...
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but... Did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
New info?
It's over.
Okay, new
It's
info,
all
Celeste's
over.
account, I bet.
You want to know who saw the victim? The killer! and only the killer.
Ooh, Celeste's account and
it's
only
not
the
like
killer.
They're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man. Game over.
Okay, dude.
Yeah! No! Not game over!
So I think we want to go Celeste's account. No one saw the killer. Yeah.
Isn't there a single clue?
Well,
did
No,
nobody
I don't
get-
remember
sure
where it
someone saw
was.
Perhaps someone saw the victim.
Yeah.
It's over. It's all over.
Okay.
You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the
Okay, we got it. I think.
No,
Yeah,
it's
we
wrong.
got it. But I mean, I don't really know what that proves, other than
I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
saw her. Okay.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse.
Now, why would she have been in the warehouse?
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
Possible.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
What did she say? I'm in kind of a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry.
Oh, right. Because didn't she say something about how she couldn't work out, like... Or that not something Sakura said? Is that she had, like, no way to work out on her own? So she would have needed a helper. So maybe she was rushing to meet whoever was helping. So who would have volunteered to help Chihiro work out?
But why would he be in a
Yeah.
hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So whatever her training partner was. And they also would have obviously had to have known about... If they were working out in the male locker room, they would have known about her secret. And shit, you know, if you think about it, I mean... That would have been her secret that would have been revealed, right? But... I don't know. I don't think... They're not going to go for another self-defense angle, are they? I don't think so.
Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
Yeah.
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
That's because he couldn't, or she couldn't get into the girls' locker room.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
Ooh, what a marvelous friendship!
So, I mean, who would Chihiro have trusted? Maybe Mondo?
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Do we?
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of.
Pack jacket and duffel
Focus
bag.
on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Should it?
Are you sure about that? You really think
mean, it's
we can
blue.
figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
I mean, we can see that it's blue in the picture, but... And that it's...
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
And we can assume it probably wasn't Hifumi helping Chihiro out.
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
So, I mean, it's definitely Taka, Yasuhiro, or Mondo.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say. but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from.
Okay.
Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's tracksuit really hold some clue about the killer? It's really hard to believe. Okay. I feel like we're probably gonna use the flashback mechanic
First
here.
of all, we know where Chihiro
Oh my
was
god, there's
headed.
so many
He was
dialogues.
on his way to go exercise.
Exercise?
So
Remember?
next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Blue tracksuit.
My tracksuit is black.
Blue tracksuit.
I
Whoa, why would
don't
you
even
say
have a tracksuit?
so defensive?
Because exercising sucks.
Exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
White tracksuit.
I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
White
Did
tracksuit
any
warehouse.
of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
So Celeste's account, maybe white
You heard him,
tracksuit.
right? What
Okay.
he just said without even realizing it?
Yeah. Okay, so I guess it's Yasuhiro?
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed.
Celeste's
He was on
account.
his way to go
Didn't you say they
exercise.
all? Well,
So next why did he choose?
What do you mean, the...
I got it! It matched the one.
So, the killer was wearing...
Wearing the same blue. My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I mean, shouldn't.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
Whoa, wait. I don't know. 'Cause it's. Yeah.
Shoot.
What do you? Tracksuit is black.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
Exercise.
So next we have to ask,
Black.
why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
I'm so
What do
confused.
you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked. It matched the one that.
So, what you're saying
I
is
feel like
the
we're
killer
suppo-
was wearing the same blue tracksuit
Blue
as him?
tracksuit.
My tracksuit is black.
Maybe.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
And then.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
Because you said you got it from the warehouse. Why would they? I just assumed all they would look the same, right?
Shoot.
First of all,
Exercise.
we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
I mean, I just don't see how exercise could
so
be useful.
next we have to ask,
This
why
looks
did he choose
insane.
the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because...
I mean, the
it
only
matched
thing to
the one
click
the
on is
culprit was
black
wearing.
tracksuit.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Blue tracksuit.
My tracksuit is black.
Tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit.
Dude, I feel like I'm
Exercising
dumb as
sucks.
shit right now.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
You got a white
Did any of
tracksuit.
that really help us
From
get
the
any
warehouse.
closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
So, I mean, it's got to be something that those two said, but I can't think of what combination, like what the contradiction is there. Other than the fact that they're different colored tracksuits that they both have. But, like, which one's the contradiction?
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed.
He was on his way. So next why did he choose?
What do you mean?
So maybe we'll try a white
It matched the
tracksuit
one the culprit was wearing.
on...
So, what you're saying
black.
is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit.
I feel like I'm
My
gonna lose
tracksuit is
here.
black.
I
Tracksuit is
don't
black.
even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
I don't know, man.
Shoot.
I have no clue.
First of all, we know where Chihiro
I feel like
was headed.
so stupid.
he was on his way to go exercise.
Exercise.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I'm so confused.
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because
I feel like
it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
blue
My
tracksuit.
tracksuit is black.
Oh, God, I'm such a
I have a
dumbass.
tracksuit.
Wait.
This exercising sucks.
God, I am so stupid. We don't know that it's blue.
Not a chance.
We only know that
You've
it's
heard
blue
of
because
that.
we've seen the picture, which technically no one else could have
First of all, we
seen.
know he was on his way, so next week, why did he choose?
What do you mean this?
I got it! It matched the one.
So,
The killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit.
No, that's wrong.
God, I can't believe it took me that.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Oh man, that is that's kind of. I mean, that is kind of like interesting the way they play with. Because obviously those pictures, the characters themselves can't see. Only us as the audience gets to see that stuff.
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said,
Yeah. That I feel so dumb for taking that long to realize that.
she never said anything about the jacket's color. So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
So it was Mondo though.
What are you? You just...
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I just...
So it was Mondo.
I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Well, I'm still trying to remember. Is the sauna in the same... I don't think that's 100% guilt. Because the sauna is in the same... Like, it's past... Is it past the locker room, right? Because it's like sauna, then pool. And I'm trying to remember the timeline. This is the problem with having not played... having done that section, like, over a week ago. Didn't Chihiro die, like... No, Chihiro died the day after the sauna stuff. Because, like, in my mind, the thing I'm thinking of is that when Mondo and Taka are leaving the sauna, they go back through the boys' locker room and then they see Chihiro in there. And so that's how they figured it out, so to speak.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was...
And then Mondo could have technically volunteered to help her out. And so he would know what color her tracksuit is, but that doesn't necessarily mean he killed her.
Is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
That's maybe a bit of a stretch.
Cherry? Are you talking about Chihiro?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night.
Ugh. That's not a good lie.
He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. Yeah, she wouldn't have just left it hanging around. Hanging
when
out.
Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag.
Also, we should stop. Damn, this trial has lasted forever.
If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and stop here. I really thought we'd finish the trial. I guess I wasn't expecting it to be dragged out. And them to pull the flip card on it not being Togami. I figure at this point, I guess it does have to be Mondo. I don't know if they're going to keep prolonging it and actually be like, JK, it's someone else. Feels like a bit too many flip-flops for a single case. Even though I do see how they could potentially make Mondo innocent if they wanted to. If they wanted to keep it going, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think we're pretty much at the end of the trial by now, just based on how long it's gone. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part, and bye, guys.